All right, let's get into it. Today we're doing a deep dive on a pretty specific consumer product.
Very specific.
The V18 Vaginal Tightening Spray. It's one of those topics that gets a lot of chatter online, but what do the sources actually say?
Yeah, and for this, we're pulling from a YouTube video transcript. It's a review asking that basic question, does it work or is it a scam?
Right. So our goal here is to really unpack the verdict on these tightening sprays and then look at the very different alternative it seems to suggest.
Exactly.
So what's the immediate takeaway from this review? What's the headline on the V18 product itself?
The headline is, well, it's blunt. It's a hard no.
A hard no, just like that, no nuance.
No, not at all. The source is really clear that a spray, any kind of topical spray, just isn't going to give you any of the benefits it claims, not for actual tightening.
Wow. And the review really doubles down on that, right? It says something pretty stark about the consequences if you rely on them.
It does. It basically says if the area becomes loose, it stays that way. For your whole life is the phrase they use.
Your whole life. That's an intense claim.
It is. And to back that up, they also point to external proof. They mention that the user ratings for products like V18 are just really bad.
So the customer feedback seems to align with their verdict.
Seems to, yeah.
Okay, so sprays and gels are completely off the table, according to this source.
Completely. A dead end.
But it doesn't just end there. The review, it pivots, right? It suggests an alternative path.
It does. It moves from topical things to internal ones. It brings up supplements or vaginal tightener pills.
Okay, and how are they supposed to work? Because that sounds like a totally different approach.
It is a completely different mechanism. And this is really the crucial part. The supplements aren't for, physically changing the tissue itself.
No.
No, their main supposed benefit is all about increasing the partner's sexual desire.
Wait, the partner's desire. So how does that even connect?
So the thinking is, this increased desire leads to more arousal during intimacy, which then causes the vaginal muscles to tighten naturally, in the moment.
Ah, I see. So it's not a permanent physical change. It's a temporary response, a muscular thing tied to that specific situation.
Precisely. They talk about getting amazing results and enjoyment from that process, not from the pill directly changing anything structural.
That's a fundamental shift in what the product is even trying to do.
It is. But there's a big catch.
Oh.
The results are not come overnight. That's a direct quote from the source.
Right, which makes sense if it's a supplement. You have to let it build up.
Exactly. The review is specific. It says you need to take these pills for at least 1 month before you'd notice any kind of change.
1 month, so you really have to be patient. It's definitely not the instant fix a spray promises to be.
Not even close. So,
to kind of sum it all up for you, this review draws a really hard line in the sand, doesn't it? On one side, you have the external stuff, the sprays like V18, which it says are totally ineffective.
Useless, yeah.
And on the other side, you have these oral supplements that supposedly work in this completely different indirect way by influencing desire and that temporary muscle response.
And that's really the most fascinating part, isn't it? The review ends up hinging the whole idea of effectiveness not on a product physically changing your body, but on the presence of sexual desire and intimacy.
Yeah.
It sort of forces you to re-examine the whole question. Is the perceived problem really about physical tissue? Or is it more closely connected to arousal and the dynamics of intimacy itself? That's the thought it really leaves you with.